Creating a will is the best way to make sure your family doesn't fight over your assets when you die. You've probably heard the horror stories about poorly planned estates dividing grieving families. You probably even know families that have experienced this. It's also the best way to make sure that your assets go where you want them to when you die, and your kids get the guardian you want them to have. In the absence of a will, the state will decide all of this for you. Writing a will can feel like an intimidating process, especially when you start thinking about how many options you have to choose from, but it doesn't have to be. We'll break down 8 common types of wills so you can start thinking about which one is best. The first is a simple will. You can easily make this one yourself. In this will, you can state who or what organizations you want to inherit your assets and who you want to execute or manage your will. You can also identify guardians for your kids. In the case of a life-threatening accident or sudden terminal illness, there are also options. You can handwrite your will or communicate your wishes orally. The first kind of will is called a holographic will, and the second, a nuncupative will. It's important to know that these kinds of wills often don't hold up in court. Another term you might hear is a living will. A living will doesn't actually determine where your assets go when you die. It's more about documenting your wishes for your care and assets if you become ill or mentally unfit to make decisions during your life. A joint will outlines the wishes of 2 people, spouses, for example, or domestic partners. The joint will can save time and paper, but it can also be changed after one partner dies. This means that if the surviving partner remarries and has more children, then the will doesn't provide for those children. A more flexible option for this kind of arrangement is a mirror will. This is basically 2 wills that mirror one another. They're saying essentially the same thing, but they're signed and stored separately. This means a surviving partner can change the terms of the will. The term testamentary trust refers to a trust within a will. This kind of trust goes into effect when you die. You might use this if you have young kids and you don't want them to immediately receive their inheritance, but you want them to receive your assets gradually or at a specific point in time. Another option is a pour over will. This basically means you can pour all of your assets into a trust and appoint a trustee to manage their distribution. One advantage of this is that there's a plan for even assets you acquire after you've written your will. Another advantage is that unlike a will, a trust isn't public record. We're eForms, the biggest online database of legal documents. Head to the link here for fillable wills that you can make on your own, and go to eForms.com to learn more about wills and laws specific to your state.